Urban Media Today talks sports with Ray Porter Jr., Vince Butts, and Trevin A. Jones on Urban Media Today Radio.
It's game time!
It's Urban Media Today talks sports. You know, Super Bowl coming up next weekend, but this weekend, we got a superstar. We gonna call him a superstar. I don't care what y'all say. He's a superstar in our book. HBCU alum, Prairie View A&M Panther, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, number 57. I got that right, Quinton, right? 57?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
57. I'm never going to forget, fam. I told you I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. Remember 57, my man Quinton Bell. And we got also here today, I had to say that first because, I mean, with the Super Bowl coming up, I got excited. So I introduced our guest before everybody else. But you got Coach William Greg Hoyd Jr. playing for Envelopes, Keith Platt Jr. and the youngin. And then you got my man Vince Butts. And then you got Ray Porter Jr. Vince, Ray is back, man. I can say back. Ray Porter Jr.
That sounds like a barbecue sauce. Ain't that right,
Ray
man?
Porter Jr.
Ray Porter Jr. barbecue sauce.
That's, you know what, though? That's music to your ears. I like that, Coach. I like it.
All right. So, all right, Quinton, I got a whole bunch of questions to ask, but I'm going to let Coach do it. Coach brought you back to the show. Coach, go for it.
So, Quinton, man, welcome back, man, to the show, man. I remember last year, man, we caught you right after a track workout, UCLA, man. I know you grind pretty hard. You run 110s, and, you know, you out there with your shirt off grinding, you know, during the off season. But today, the Saturday before the Super Bowl, you playing in the Super Bowl. Tell us about that journey.
Man, I mean, honestly, man, it's been what feels so long but so short at the same time. I mean, you know, obviously just, you know, talking to you guys, man, I'm just talking, just got to Tampa, just signed with Tampa, trying to get a spot on the team, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And grinding my way to that, man. And obviously, you know, you play any sport to win championships. Everything you do, you want to be the best. But just Super Bowl is something that you always dream about. But you like, especially players like me, just coming up, man, small school, just being in the league is always the goal, man. So to be here right now to be a part of the team that I'm a part of, with all these greats and Hall of Famers, man. And I mean, you see, you know, 12 and Mike Evans and all these great guys around me, man. All this greatness around me, man. It's surreal, man. Honestly, it's a dream come true. You know, ask me, you know, my freshman, sophomore year at Prairie, man, I would have never thought that I would be ended up, you know, here on this stage, man. But honestly, man, God is great. It's a blessing, and I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Prairie View, man. Shout out to your alumni, man. That's dope, man. HBCU is in the house playing on Sundays. Let everybody know, all you young kids out there, it's possible. It don't matter where you start. It's possible. Prime example of that is here today. So let's talk about those veterans on your team, because I always see you competing with Pierre Paul. I mean, what's that like to be competing with that guy? You know, he's already have a Super Bowl ring, to compete with him on a daily day. You know, working out with him, training with him.
I mean, I take full advantage of it, man. I mean, every day, just about every day, I'm asking him and Shaq Barrett, another great pass rusher on our team, man, just questions and just getting coached up, man. Because this is still, you know, a new position for me. It's my first year at outside backer, technically. So I'm just soaking up all kind of information and knowledge that I can from these guys every single day. You know what I'm saying? And they're probably the best group of vets I've ever been around. I ain't been around too many groups, but just these guys' energy, man, and they're just willingness to want to help the young guys on the team, man. It's great, man. I hope I can play with these guys for as long as I can, because I feel myself getting better with the help from them. So I'm grateful for that, for sure.
Wow. You know, you used the word surreal, Quinton, and, you know, I've watched Pittsburgh, that's my team, get to the Super Bowl in several teams, starting from 79, most recently 2010. And it was just that feeling, man, my team is in the Super Bowl from a fan standpoint. But it has to be off the charts when you're on the team and you see the clock turn 0, and boom, you're celebrating and holding up that trophy. Because, you know, the George Hollis Trophy is just as valuable, you know, well, first, before the Lombardi Trophy. But what is that feeling like?
I mean, man, it's just like, you know, first making the playoff is just a big deal in itself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's something that, you know, that doesn't happen a lot. So you got to take advantage of that. And just, every game is sudden death, man. Win or go home. That's what coach say. Win or go home, man.
Go home.
And just each week, we're chipping away. We focus on this game, focus on that game. And the clock hitting 0 in each of these playoff games is like, all right, cool, next one, next one. And then, we're in Green Bay in the cold, man. And just, it was cold. It was cold for sure. And just, seeing that clock hit 0, man, it was just like, everything that you go through, the camp, man, all the criticism, it just made everything worth it, man. I can't even really explain, bro. It's just like, it's just like, it uplifts you. It gave me a new birth. Like, my body feels like it's fresh week 1. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it gives you a new energy, man. It's like, man, everything I went through, all the hard work, all the long off season, man, it's like, this is what it's for. You know what I'm saying? It's why we're here, man. So it lifted up everybody, the whole team, man. We had, staff members crying. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy energy in the building right now. Everyone's excited, man. It's gonna be something special to watch for sure.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about preparation real quick. Sorry about that. For Aaron Rodgers, okay. Dude is really good. What was that? What was the week preparation like preparing for that guy?
I mean, it's always heavy, when you're going against a guy like that. I mean, essentially, you want to say kind of the Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? And so with him having that huge arm that he has and being as mobile, man, a lot of the focus, at least on my end with the pass rush, was keeping him in. Don't let him get out and scramble. Just same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Let them guys get out, scramble, make plays, throw deep balls on the field. As a pass rush, and what you see, we came out with 5 sacks that game. We knew that we had to be a part of this game. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to make sure that we get the win. And we definitely did that with my guys, Shaq and JPP. But, yeah, preparing for him, man, you got to make sure you rush the right way. You can't rush crazy and then, kind of do your own thing against these quarterbacks that'll make you pay for it. So that was really the main concern in our room.
Right.
Platt Jr., what you got, man? No questions? All right, youngin. I can't believe you're quiet over there.
Who you say, me or Vince?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, I thought you said Vince. My bad.
I
Hey,
said
Mr.
Keith Platt Jr. Don't even play.
Hey, Mr. Bell, I wanted to ask you, man, how's Tom Brady on a day-to-day basis, man? Like, how's the energy like? Is he amped up?
Man, 12 just has this kind of this swagger to him that he's locked in. You know what I'm saying? He's not a big to go kind of guy. He's more like a man. You could just see it in his eyes, man. He's just locked in, and his energy locks everybody else in. Obviously, like we came in the beginning of the season, just that caliber player walking into the meeting room. It's like everyone's like, okay, like it's serious now. You know what I'm saying? When 12 walks in the room, man, and so just day to day, man, just watching his greatness, you can just tell the amount of focus that he gives to the game. Film study. I mean, he's locked in every meeting, man. This is a blessing, you know what I'm saying, just to be able to see that, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're watching on TV every day and you grow up watching Tom Brady, man, but to actually see it in person is different, So he's locked in, man, and I think like I said, his energy and his focus, makes the whole team focus up.
Hey, so I saw something real quick, because of course, you've been part of my program for a little while. So right. Tom Brady blessed the entire team for Christmas, right?
Right. Yeah. We
talk about that.
We all got some Christopher Clues. I think it's a brand, and I guess it's like a kind of a collaboration with them with some shades. So he got the whole team basically like these nice shades. I'm definitely gonna pop out this summer with them on when I hit the beaches after we get this ring. But yeah, man, he blessed us with that, man. That was really cool, man. Actually, a lot of vets this year actually got us right with a lot of gifts this Christmas. It was great, man. So yeah, that was really cool.
Oh man, sound like the locker room energy is awesome. Sound like the energy in the locker room is pretty good.
Oh, definitely, man. I think I've been on teams where you don't win as much, and obviously, man, when you're doing this good, man, as a team, and you can just see that everybody's working together for the same goal. Just the whole building is it's a great environment to be around for sure.
You got to tell me this, and you got to explain to other folks, because I've heard stories before from NFL players such as yourself. When they talk about the HBCU connection, you got Ryan Smith, defensive back from North Carolina Central, also with you on the team. Talk about that vibe that you guys have when once you see another HBCU alum, even if it's from a different school, there's still a connection, correct?
Right. I mean, definitely, man. I mean, like, it's funny because I actually didn't know that until this last camp. Like, man, yeah, you went to NCC Central. I'm like, okay, yeah, man, we played them. I actually got my first sack against them in college, man. So I always remember that game. But yeah, man, no, man, it's warming, man. You know, ain't too many of us in here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So especially just to have someone like that on your team, it just boosts my confidence, man. And I'm sure boosting the confidence of a lot of younger guys coming up, man. Doesn't matter where you come from, man. It matters what you do, and how you work. And so, just having Ryan Smith here and, a couple other guys, actually, I think on the Chiefs have a couple guys too that went to HBCUs. I don't know their names specifically, but it's real great to see, man. We only know how hard we work, and you guys know, and it's a tough journey, coming from a smaller school, but it's not impossible. You know what I'm saying? And we showing that now, so.
No doubt. And he's giving Prairie View mad props and respect. I mean, because that football program, go ahead, man. You got to talk about Prairie View.
Oh, yeah, no, man. I mean, obviously my 4 years there was very unique. But, my last year when we got the head coaching change to Eric Dooley, man, and basically the whole staff changed, really, except for, I think, our safeties coach, because Bubba McDowell was still there. But everyone else was new, got a new strength coach, new OC, new DC, man, and everybody came in there, man, and it was just, honestly, man, that should have been championship year as well, man. I'm happy that we didn't get one that year, but man, shout out to them for real, man. So starting with Coach Leonard, my strength coach, man, I said, Coach, man, D-line coach, I need to put on 20 pounds before next season. He said, I got you. He gave me a whole, meal plan, and I'm in the weight room grinding. You know what I'm saying? I made it happen, put on 20 pounds in about 2.5 months. Who does that, man? But I had them guys behind me to do that. Shout out to my D-line coach, Coach Middleton, DC, Coach Mills, man. We grinded that year, man. And they told me they was going to get me to the league, man. That's what they told me. They said, you come over here, we're going to get you to the league. That's what you're coming over here for. You know what I'm saying? I ain't played a down to defense since high school. Definitely ain't played no defensive end. So I'm like, man, if I'm going to do this, I'm doing it for, to get to where I need to be. And they said, we got you. And I put trust in those coaches, man. And I think about that journey every day. I'm like, man, I'm here. I thank those guys so much, man.
Wow, it's Urban Media Today Talk Sports. We got the big man back, Mr. Quinton Bell, number 57, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to say that with my chest stuck out because I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. I bragged about that the last time. But it's a pleasure to have you, man. We're going to have you back. Can we have you back for a couple of minutes in the next segment?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
You got some time? All right, so we're going to have Quinton back. It's Urban Media Today Talk Sports. We'll take a quick time out, come right back.
There was a guy in Food Lion pushing a shopping cart with one hand and using his other hand to hold his shirt over his mouth and nose because he didn't have a face cover. Now, he knew good and well before he left the house that he didn't have a mask, but his effort was so convincing. I mean, by all indications, working incredibly hard to practice one of the 3 W's, I couldn't be mad at him.
Urban Media Today talks sports. Coach William Greg Hoy Jr. playing for envelopes. Ray Porter Jr. Got my man Keith Platt Jr. And we got the big man. We calling him the big man. He's going to the Super Bowl next weekend. It's Mr. Quinton Bell, number 57, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hey, Quinton, in college, you played linebacker, didn't you? Or defensive end?
Defensive end. I was
it was defensive end, right?
Yeah.
And now you're outside linebacker in the league. Man, talk about that transition. Like, that had to be big time for you.
Yeah, I think honestly, man, like when I came out, my whole team, my agent, everybody, I thought that I was gonna get drafted by a 3-4 team to be outside backer right off the jump. When Oakland drafted me, it was really a surprise because they are 4-3, 4-3 over, hand the dirt, big defensive end kind of team. I was more of a real fast, athletic, linebacker type is what I felt. So, but when I got here, last year, man. Immediately, I feel like I adapted to it just because, I felt like that's what I was made for. I was made to run around, stand up, dropping coverage, play a little man, do a little bit of everything. That's what I feel like my body is built for, to do a little bit of everything. So I think that obviously was different, from what I was doing for a long time, but it felt natural, and once I got in the playbook and figured that mental part out, I was able to fly around. So.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Coach.
Okay, well, awesome, man. So let's talk about, one of the biggest things we hear about a lot is the staff for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. unbelievable. Never seen anything like this ever. A black OC, a black defensive coordinator, and Bruce Arrington. Everybody loves him, man. Everybody I talk to in the league, all my friends say, man, he's a good dude, man. And then you got, a female coach also. So diversity is crazy there with Tampa Bay. Talk about that culture there with the coaching staff.
Yeah, man. Honestly, this kind of coaching staff is actually really unique to me. This coaching staff is really like a talk less, do more. You know what I'm saying? BA's speeches, you got the head coaches that'll talk to the team at the practice for an hour and give them this whole speech. BA is like, if it's a good day, hey, good job, get in the film room, see y'all tomorrow. Boom. Bad day, wasn't good enough. Fix it, see y'all tomorrow. Boom. And I like that because I feel like, sometimes it's all about the talk, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes like, coach, let us know we good or not. How you feel? Cool. See you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I love that about BA, man. And I feel like it trickles down with the entire staff. It's like, man, we going to come to work to show up. We're not going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be about it. And like you said, man, with the way we actually have two. We have the assistant D-line coach, Coach Lowe, and we have the Coach MJ in the weight room, man. And, it's like, I mean, they blend in, man. Obviously, when you first hear about it, when you first get here, it's, oh, man, that's, it's two women coaches. You know what I'm saying? And obviously in football, you're not used to that. But man, they play a huge role, man, especially in the weight room, man, with Coach MJ. She's a great coach with, making sure we're getting our bodies right in there, technique, and all that, man. It's definitely a big, unique coaching staff over here, man. I'm blessed to be a part of it for real.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of one of the assistant coaches, someone who is a outside linebackers coach is one who I got to know during his time in Pittsburgh, and that's Larry Foote. When I would go down to the facility to cover some of the practices, he used to always bow me in my back. He used to always mess with me, and I had to tell him to respect his elders.
Yeah,
but I'm
that
very
sounds
proud.
like Foote.
Yeah, and he told me to go home one time. I said, no, you go home. But what's it like? It's a blessing to see him and Antoine Randall as well in assistant coaching roles. But what's it like directly with Foote?
Yeah, man. I think Foote's a great coach, man. I think that he kind of really like has a vibe that kind of sticks with it. Like we're players, so we're younger guys, and he's he's an old head, but he's kind of young. He has this young energy to him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you said.
I think I do.
He's always talking stuff every day, and his energy's always high. He's messing with us in the meeting room, man. But younger guys, that's cool to us. You know what I'm saying? And he makes him the kind of coach you want to play for. You know what I'm saying? You want to do great, so you can turn up with him. You know what I'm saying? And get live with him, man. He's a great coach to me. He played 13 years in the league, man. I mean, you gotta respect that, man, his knowledge, man, and everything he tells. He always tells me, like, I'm not trying to trick you. I got all this knowledge, man, and take it from me. You know what I'm saying? When I want to give it to y'all. So, yeah, man, I'm blessed to have Foote as a coach, man, for these last 2 years, and hopefully, for some more years, man. But yeah, I think Foote is one of the best coaches I ever had, just in being able to teach. You know what I'm saying? Being able to teach and help us bring from the meeting room to the field. I think that's what makes him a really good coach.
Great, wonderful.
Hey, how often have you went up against Rob Gronkowski in practice, and how did you fare against Big Gronk in practice?
Oh man, every single day, man. Every single day, me and Gronk cracking heads, man. I think when I first came in for camp, like, man, that's Gronk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that's Gronk, man. And he's probably, probably the biggest tight end aside from OJ Howard, another big old tight end. But still, man, I'm like, that's Gronk, man. And so. Every day since camp, man, we've been cracking heads, and I've been guarding him a lot of coverage, man to man, and zone. And man, Gronk's a great player, man, and I think that he's helped me become a great player. And I'm getting after him every day, man. Like Gronk knows, like if I'm lined up on him, whether it's man coverage or he has to block me, I'm giving it to him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't giving nothing. He wins some, I win some, man. But just to be able to go against, man, one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the game, I mean, you got to take advantage of that as a young player, man, because. Who you gonna go against? That's gonna be Gronk every day. And I'm blessed for a year, man, for a season, to be able to go up against that talent, man. It's great, man. So yeah, definitely every day with Gronk. Love him, man. Great guy too.
Hey, have
great
you,
point. Go ahead.
During Skelly, have you picked off Tom Brady yet? Have you got any interceptions in practice?
So.
Here we go.
I didn't get one in camp. And when we're like obviously during the season, like we don't really go like ones on ones. Like it's always like either like a show team and an offense or show offense or defense. So we're actually like not allowed to pick the ball off, man. So I can't, I ain't gonna speak too much on that, but hey, Tom's a great quarterback, man. I think look, I never think there's a couple of passes I could have grabbed, man, these last couple of weeks, man. But I take to the rules, man, and we get an offense. They look, man, we don't, you know what I'm saying, we do our thing and they do their thing. And yeah, man, I'll leave it.
That's what's up. I gotta ask a great question because I gotta ask this, Quinton. When you stepping onto the field, and I remember you were talking about your grind. The first time we had you this year or last year, and you're like, "Yo, fellas, I'm gonna get in it. I'm putting in the work. I'm just blessed and happy to be on this team. I'm blessed and happy even with moving from Oakland to Tampa Bay, and you were very, very grateful and very, very humble. As you mature and get the experience, is there a certain point when you know, like, okay, I fit in now, or when does the newness wear off? I guess I want to say, because bro, you're on the field now with like Antonio. You're on the field with 12, as you say. You're on the field with Gronk. I mean, you're on the field with some great players.
Yeah, man. I think, man, like that's actually a great question, man. I think until I become that, until I become, big contract, that's what we go out grinding for, right? Big contract, big name, and become a legend in the game. I think until I get that, man, I want to feel like I'm gonna grind to that. I'm grinding to that. I'm gonna feel like I'm still that kid at Prairie trying to get his. That's kind of what I want to keep to get to where I want to be, man. Because it's levels to it, man. I see it every day. We got Jason Pierre-Paul in my room, and AB 12, Mike Evans, Levante David, all these just 8, 7, 8, 9, 10-year guys, man. And it's like, man, I'm on year 2, and that just seems so far away, but I know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? I know it's coming. And so I think until I get there, man, I ain't comfortable. It's going to feel new to me. And obviously, I'm on the team, made the team this year and did my thing. And so don't get me wrong, I'm definitely, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't where I want to be yet. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep my mind right and say, the light at the end of the tunnel, I see it, man, and we grind into that. So that's kind of how I view it.
Wow. And if I can real quick, fellas, what helps you keep that edge, Quinton? I mean, you're a defensive player. Defensive players have to be hungry. Not that offensive players aren't, but I'm just saying defensive players have to have that edge constantly. What helps you keep that edge?
I feel like I'm doubted every day. I feel like I don't forget anything that was said about me. You know what I'm saying? The kid from Prairie used to play wide receiver. Now he's a defensive end. He's not going to make it. I wasn't supposed to get drafted. I wasn't supposed to make it this far. There's people doubt me every day, like, who is this kid, bro? Like, so just knowing that, man, like that fuels me. That really fuels me. I always say I appreciate my haters, man. I appreciate these clowns in the media who, you just talk crazy about athletes and, they don't know anything, man. I feel like I know my worth. I know what I am. I know what I can be. I know what I'm going to be. And so I wake up every morning, with it on me, with a chip on my shoulder, man. Like, hey, they're gonna respect me, And I'm sure there's people that do, but I know there's people that don't. And my goal is to make everyone respect me. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I keep it, man.
No doubt. And then what about hometown, man? I mean, the people at home, it's like where you grew up, the people that were behind you all this way, high school and all that. Man, how does that feel? Like you walking onto the field with them on your shoulders in a sense. Is that
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I always say I have the best support system, man. All my family, I actually got like 10 family members coming out here, man, for the game. Man, I'm gonna see them after the game. We're gonna celebrate with them, man. But everyone that's been with me with this journey, man, everyone's just so excited for me, and they're just so happy for me because a lot of people know, what I went through and the work I had to put in, to get here. So I'm definitely grateful for them, man, and they know I'm grateful too, man. We're gonna celebrate, in a couple of weeks here. But just everyone, man, like my family, my 2 parents, my beautiful girlfriend, man, everybody who just, it's been a crazy year this year. Last year was a crazy year, man. We still going. So I can't wait to see everybody and even head back home too and see the rest of everybody, after we get this ring. So it's gonna be great.
I like that. He said, after we get this ring. Tampa Bay, boy, I'm a Bucks fan. I'm going to tell you, I'm a Bucks fan. I don't keep over there mad at me right now, but I am a Bucks fan. I have said that from day one. So none of these cats on this panel can say, yo, Trav, you just jumping on the bandwagon. I told y'all, I go back to John McKay. I go back to Leroy Selman. I go back to when Doug Williams actually played NFC Championship game, all that. So actually day one, because Leroy Selman was the very first draft pick.
Talk about Eric Gret, man.
What? Don't even try me. Don't even try me. It's Urban Media Today Talk Sports. Take a quick time out. It's halftime. We play a full game here. Quinton Bell, number 57, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If I'm hyped and sound excited, just say, Trev, be quiet. I'm not going to shut up because Quinton is on the show. We're going to be right back after this timeout.
Hey, let me get a timeout, a full one, because I need some help with the research project that I'm conducting. I want to take a look at Kawhi Leonard, a really nice forward for the Los Angeles Clippers, who took an early exit down there in the NBA bubble. And I also want to do a little study of Lamar Jackson, the reigning most valuable player of the National Football League.
And so if you would help me out with this soul poll and let me know if you prefer Kawhi Leonard's cornrows and nice and neatly parted, going straight to the back, or do you prefer the even more natural look of Lamar Jackson's braids and just kind of flopping around and doing their own thing? Let me know when you reach out and touch me with a comment below. When you take the soul poll, is it Kawhi Leonard's cornrows or Lamar Jackson's braids? Let me know when you take the soul poll.
There it is. They're not gonna rook us.
No.
Take that for data.
Soul poll.
It's Urban Media Today Talk Sports. It's the third quarter. We got my man Ray Porter Jr. Like Coach said, you sound like some hot sauce. Ray Porter Jr. hot sauce. Ray Porter Jr. We got Coach William Greg Hoy. Coach William Greg Hoy Jr. playing for Envelopes. My man Keith Platt Jr. And we got my man Quinton Bell, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on his way to the Super Bowl next weekend. And it's happening. We're happy to have you, Quinton. Go ahead, Coach. I know you got some things you want to ask.
Yeah. So let's talk about, this year the NFL, they gave the players opportunity to have their cleats and get their cleats designed. Can you talk a little bit about the cleats that you had designed and where your money was going to, where you donated your money? Just a little bit about maybe your foundation you're being part of, what you're doing now outside of the field.
Yeah, definitely. So my cause, my cleats thing with the NFL, man, we got to basically choose an organization. And then from there, they had an artist come in and design these cleats, man, and we donate the cleats and basically, basically show our support, to that organization. I chose Boys and Girls Club of America, and just me. Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, man. And for me, if you know me personally, Q love the kids, man. I'm all about kids, man. And so, I got a lot of nieces and nephews, and a lot of young kids that look up to me, man. And I believe the kids are our future, man. And so I felt like if there's anything I should be a part of, it should be a part of kids in need, kids who are in such good circumstances. I want to show them that, hey, there's people that are doing what you dream of doing, that care about you and support you, and want to make sure that you guys are being taken care of as well. So that was great for me to have those cleats. That did a really good job too with the green and black on there. To have those cleats, man, and to be shout out the organization. They loved it. I got in contact with them. They were like, "Thank you. We love everything." And, so it was great to be part of that, man. It felt really good.
Awesome. So part of that. Have you done anything else in the community as far as I know Tampa Bay is they're pretty active in the community. I know we're doing the pandemic this year, but did you get out any in the community this season and do anything?
So I did last season. Last season we visited a couple hospitals, read books, gave gifts to kids. Obviously this season has been kind of limited with that because of COVID-19 protocols and all that. But I definitely do. Hopefully, this off season, if things get better, which I hope they do, kind of depends on that. I want to do a camp back in Long Beach, California, for some kids to come out and get some work in and really just get involved in my community, man. I feel like I got a real voice now, and so I definitely want to give back. I'm all about, like I said, giving back and a lot of kids. So that's my goal. Hopefully, this COVID situation gets better for us.
Awesome.
Well, we know the Super Bowl is a historic event in itself, and the teams that make it or represent the two conferences, they obviously are in the history, players as well. But there's other history that's made too. For the first time, a team that's going to host the Super Bowl in their own stadium. So what's it like to be part of that history?
First time man, I mean that's the craziest part about it. I feel like, you know what I'm saying. I mean, but last year was in Miami, you know, and like this year it's in Tampa, and it was just like, I mean, that was just even more motivation for us to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's never happened before, and you know, just back in August, that first day of camp, we had that first meeting, man. It seemed so far away, and it's like, man, it's here. You know, and I think that was the biggest thing for us, is that we coming home, man. You know, we giving the city of Tampa, you know, what they deserve, man. And you know, out here now, I mean, you guys can't see it, but everything's getting built up, man. It looks great out here, man. I just can't wait, man. I can't wait to get over there and just enjoy the week, man, and go crazy in the game and just celebrate, man. It's gonna be crazy atmosphere out here. I'm sure the energy in the city's already up, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be crazy, definitely, man. I'm blessed to be a part of this historic event, for real.
Right. Hey, one last thing for me is part of tradition in the NFL is guys swapping jerseys at the end of the game. Did you get a chance swapping jerseys this year with anybody as you guys went through the season?
I did not swap any jerseys this year. I wanted to swap with my guy Kadero Hodge. I played at PV with in the preseason. We were going to play that in Game 4. Then preseason got canceled, so that didn't get to happen. But I haven't swapped the jersey with anybody this year now. So hopefully next year, though, I'm sure we play a couple teams with my guys on them, so I'll get some then.
All right.
No doubt. And let me ask you this question. Just like you just talked about Kadero. It's interesting. Do you guys stay in contact with each other even though you're on separate teams?
Oh yeah, we talk all the time. That's my guy. That's my roommate, dog.
So you guys were actually roommates. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we were actually roommates. My first 3 years up until my last year when he was gone. Yeah, we were roommates.
Wow, that's what's up. And speaking of roommates, man, with this Super Bowl being right there in Tampa, you don't have to go nowhere. So I mean, how does that work?
I mean, it's cool. No flight. You know what I'm saying? Don't got to deal with that. You know, so we get to obviously we got to go to the hotel, you know, before the game. But being able to be at home, you know, rest up, you know, get our bodies right, you know, sleep good in our own beds. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, we don't got to, you know, drive across the street to the stadium, you know what I'm saying? So that's cool to me, you know. It gives us, you know, we want as much of an advantage as we can get, you know, whether it's just something as simple as not having to take a flight, you know what I'm saying? Right. We'll take it, you know what I'm saying? We'll take it. So obviously the weather's going to be, I hope the weather should be pretty good, you know, maybe a little chilly at night. That's perfect playing weather if you ask me, you know what I'm saying? A little chilly night game. So, yeah, man.
Wow. And with the last question, I'm going to ask you, Q, because I know you're busy and we're not going to keep you too much longer. But who was your motivation, man? Who did you look up to, whether they were in the league or not in the league? You know, as you said to yourself, okay, I'm going to get there, because I mean, you're almost there right now. But what and who motivated you?
Oh man, that's a good question, man. I mean, obviously I can name a bunch of players I look up to. And things like that. I think honestly, man, I think my family, man. I think I always kind of felt like my journey was just so unorthodox, and I just went through a lot of unnecessary stuff. I never got to shine, and you know, until I got to shine, it was a lot of stuff I just dealt with. I feel like, man, all the other players don't have to go through this. But no matter what I was going through, whether I was playing, not playing, playing bad, playing good, my family was always there with the energy and the support, and it was like, no, we're gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like I can remember just, you know, driving and traveling to colleges with my dad, trying to get an offer, man. That was before we met Greg, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get an offer, man, and traveling, and all these colleges telling me, no, sorry, it's not good enough. No, sorry, we can't. No, sorry, no. And you know, not a lot of people know that stuff that we had to go through, man. But my dad always told me, he's like, he knew I was going to make it. You know, he knew I was going to make it, man. And just to hear him say that, and now we're here, man, it's like, I think that, you know, no matter how down I could get about anything, they was like, nah, you good. You're going to make it. And so they made me go hard, because I'm like, man, they believe in me, you know? Mm-hmm. So who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give up. You know, I'm going to make sure that I give them my all, because I know these people behind me, they want to see me do great. They want to see me make it. So my family, man, my little brother, you know what I'm saying, who looks up to me, who actually played tackle football before I did. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people know that. Like he was playing, I was playing flag. He was playing tackle in 8th grade. I was still playing flag. And then I finally got to play tackle my sophomore year at Long Beach Poly. You know, like I got a crazy story, man. I could tell it for days, but just, you know, I want to show my little brother, like, hey, man, no matter how hard it gets, like, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And he sees it in me now. I'm steadily calling him, motivating him every day. I think that family aspect part of it, man, really kept me going. Definitely.
Hey, let's talk about the family. Since you brought the family up, Mama Bell, Daddy Bell, my people, they TikTok famous. They like TikTok famous. Yeah, they on TikTok, man, cutting up.
Yeah, they going crazy right now.
Hey, so all y'all listeners out there, man, check out the Bell family on TikTok, man. They got some dope TikToks. I mean, they rocking out. They definitely having a good time. The new generation, the social media. I mean, what you feel about that, man? Mom and dad on TikTok cutting up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like TikTok was made for my mom. My mom is like that. She's goofy. She's always dancing and doing something, man, and making videos. And now she posting it and getting some likes. I'm like, man, what is this? Like, she had a TikTok. So she had sent me one randomly, like that she had did. I was like, okay, and I click on it, and she got like 10 videos on there. I'm like, bro, what you been doing? You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's great, man. I love to see my parents happy doing that, man. I mean, they tell me they're like, man, they if I'm in it, they in it, and they energy just as high as mine, man. They're so happy for me, and I can't wait to see them. I ain't seen them since we played I don't even remember, Chargers, maybe Panthers, maybe. It's been a long time, so I can't wait to see him in a couple weeks here, man. We definitely gonna turn up and celebrate, man. Definitely.
Shout out to the Bell family. Shout out to Mama Bell.
Yeah, shout out to Mom,
Daddy
Pops,
Bell.
man. XB.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Hey,
I know we. Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead, Keith.
Can I ask you this real quick? Hey, Bell, I want to ask you this. Okay, I'm here in Pittsburgh. A couple of us are here in Pittsburgh, and a couple years back, you heard positive stuff. You heard a lot of negative stuff about Antonio Brown, right? So I want to know, how would you describe him as a teammate?
Oh man, I think he's a great teammate. In my personal opinion, man, I met him when I was in Oakland. Obviously, we was in Oakland at the same time. Met him there, and obviously, especially when he was there, he had he was going through all that stuff in the media and stuff, man. And it was like in the locker room, I just didn't see it. I'm like, hey, be cool, man. And obviously, me, some little name, 7th round. I'm like, man, AB ain't gonna talk to me. Why would Antonio Brown talk to the 7th rounder from Prairie? You know what I'm saying? Why would he? Man, he was cool. Hey, what up, Q? I'm like, man, my name. I'm like, okay, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And while we were in Oakland, while he was there, for a short time he was there, we were real cool, man. And I felt like in the locker room, man, he was a great dude. I felt like obviously the media is going, say what they want to say about anybody. But I think Antonio Brown's a great dude, man, a great teammate. One of the hardest workers I know. I'm sure everybody knows he works hard. And I think, I messaged him when he was coming out here. I was like, man, we in Tampa with. He's like, yeah, we in here, man. And he got here, man. It was really cool to see him. And he's definitely, turned his career around, from where he was to where he is now, going to Super Bowl, man. I mean, that's what it's all about. So I'm happy for him, man. Bless him. I have him as a teammate, man. So obviously I don't play receiver no more. If I did, I'll pick his mind apart a little bit more about that. But it's cool to see him in practice, man, and to see him grinding. We all grinding, man. So yeah, I love AB, man. That's my dog.
No doubt. And before we let you go, Q, I got to ask you this question. You said you got a story, and we're going to have you back, fam, because you're going to tell us that story. You said you could tell us a story all day.
We're for hours, man. I got along.
You're going to tell us this. But think about this, family. Let me just present this to you. You've gone through your journey. You have a story behind you, a story that you can tell. You're about to play in the Super Bowl, fam. That's the pinnacle of your career. Not your career as far as longevity, but everybody shoots to go to a Super Bowl. You're getting there. You're there. What is your mindset going to be before you even start to prep for the game this week? I mean, where does your mind go? Do you even think about everything from the past, or you just leave that alone and handle the business in front of you?
I mean, yeah, I think now, obviously we had the game Sunday and a couple of days off, and now we were back at work today. We had our first practice today since the last game. The last 3 days, man, I've been soaking it all in, thinking about the journey, thinking about the past. Like, man, I'm here. Then you get back to work today, man, and it's like, you know what? Back to work. You know what I'm saying? It's Super Bowl, but, coaches always say, like, you don't got to do anything more than what you've been doing, because then you start to, just we've been playing great as a team, and that's what we need to continue to do. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we're good enough. You know what I'm saying? We made it here. You know what I'm saying? So nobody has to be a superhero. You know what I'm saying? And we can prepare for this team in the best way we can. We're gonna grind like we do every single week of practice. We're gonna go into the game with a great mindset to win this championship. Obviously, it's not a regular game. Obviously, but we're gonna play. It's a football game, and we're gonna play our best football game. That's what we're grinding for right now. So that's pretty much the mindset myself, and I think everybody on the team right now. We're gonna go out there and play our best football. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna win a championship. So.
No doubt. We got Quinton Bell, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, number 57. I'm still waiting to see you guys in the creamsicle jerseys again, though. But I might have to wait forever for that one, though. But
who knows, man?
Going to the Super Bowl next weekend. We appreciate you taking out the time, and we appreciate Coach Hoyd bringing you to the show, back to the show. We got to have you back again, family, in the future. After you get that ring, we got to talk to you then, too. But we appreciate you, man. And you got the biggest fans right here. Right now, I'm gonna let you know.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me, man. For real, man. Shout out to Greg, man. Hey, it starts with the envelope, man. Get the envelope before you can do anything. So, hey, definitely focus on that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. I'm rooting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, fam. You have a great one. It's Urban Media Today Talk Sports. That's the end of the third quarter. My man Quinton Bell, I know he's got to take off because he got to get it. He had practice today. We got to let the man rest. But we'll be back with the fourth quarter. We play a full game here. Thank you again, Quinton, and we wish you much success.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me, man.
There was a guy in Food Lion pushing a shopping cart with one hand and using his other hand to hold his shirt over his mouth and nose because he didn't have a face cover. Now, he knew good and well before he left the house that he didn't have a mask, but his effort was so convincing. I mean, by all indications, working incredibly hard to practice one of the 3 W's. I couldn't be mad at him.
Urban Media Today Talks Sports. My man Quinton Bell, if you missed him, you got to go back to the website, go to the video of the podcast, run it over and over and over and over again because we here, Ray Porter Jr., Coach William Greg Hoyd Jr., my man Keith Platt Jr., Vince Butts. We had Quinton Bell last August. We stayed in touch with Quinton. Coach said, all right, we got to bring him back because he's making it to the Super Bowl. We had no idea he was going to the Super Bowl. But Coach kind of knew. I think Coach knew, he just didn't tell us. But then we had him back. Now, next weekend, he's playing in the Super Bowl. So after he gets that ring, we got to bring him back here. Right, fellas?
Yeah. Right. Right. That's right, baby. Let's go.
Hey, yo, Keith, you got quiet, man. I don't think I've seen you that quiet in a minute, cuz. I mean, what's going on?
I ain't saying nothing. I'm with you. I shook my head. I nodded my head.
Okay. So,
let me ask this question. Keith Platt was dead on, man, because he said he gave the right question. That AB question was fire, man. That was good.
Yeah, that was perfect. I like that.
It was very good.
That question. I really did. Yeah, because who's gonna win the Super Bowl, fellas? I'm gonna put that out there. I'm already gonna say Tampa Bay. I mean, I like Kansas
Tampa
City too, but I got Tampa.
I'm not going against Brady. He take my money. He done took my money too many Super Bowls. He ain't take my money this Super Bowl.
And remember, I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Remember, I've been saying that forever. Since New England, Tom Brady I'm not feeling it, but now he's the coach. He's the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But they got Ryan Smith, defensive back from North Carolina Central. Quinton Bell, what's he playing? Outside linebacker.
Right.
Prairie View A&M. He was a defensive end at Prairie View, and then I forgot he was a wide receiver
too. Man, don't get it twisted.
You got Whitehead from Pitt. I'm talking HBCUs, but I'm not gonna disrespect him. Okay, I'm gonna get you Pitt in there.
412 though, baby.
Oh, here we go with the 412, man. All right, cool.
High school 5-star recruit, man. That boy lived up to his expectations.
Okay. All right. I'm not disagree with that at all. I totally agree with you there.
Hey, so I was trying to get a number. Maybe you guys can help me out with a number. I know Keith Platt, you're really good with the numbers and the data. How many guys on Tampa Bay have Super Bowl rings? How many players on that team?
AB has one, right? Gronk has one. Tom Brady, he has more than one. Jason Pierre-Paul. You got Brady. So that's 4 right there that I can, off the top of my head, that I can think of.
Those are the ones too.
Yeah, I can't think of.
You know what? You know what? McCoy has one because he played with KC last year.
So he has a ring too. So that's at least 5 players. Okay. That's what's up. At least 5 players. That's not bad. I'm quite sure there's linemen we overlooked, or defensive linemen or somebody that we overlooked there. But I'm in love with Tampa Bay's defense, man. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with Mahomes, but I can't wait to see what happens.
I think Antonio Brown gonna be Super Bowl MVP if he's healthy enough. I think this is the perfect game for him. And if he gets this, he's a Hall of Famer. He solidifies it right here.
But let me ask you this, Keith. When you put AB on the same field with Mike Evans, doesn't that open it up for Mike Evans though to be a beast, to go to beast mode? Because I mean, you can't just
target AB though. He's gonna target him. He ain't play last week neither. He's gonna target him. You know, he fought for that boy to get on the team.
Okay, and as opposed to Mike Evans, you think he's gonna target AB?
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay. Mike Evans will probably get more deeper targets, but they're gonna have AB in that slide. He's gonna work that. He's gonna kill that zone, man.
Godwin's fired.
This is his type of game.
Yeah, but I never thought I'd hear today where AB was part of a short game instead of a deep threat, where he was a possession receiver, and you have somebody else.
He ran a lot of short intermediate routes. You know,
I understand
he worked him in there. They sent him on a couple deep balls.
Right, but I'm just saying.
Short intermediate.
Right, but I'm saying after seeing him in Pittsburgh, I never thought I'd see the day where he'd be the person you're talking about, you know, running the short patterns as opposed to, you know, going the deep threat.
Yeah.
To be totally honest with you.
We did say he got a ring in Pittsburgh, right?
He didn't get a ring.
He didn't get a ring?
No, we lost to Green Bay that year, his rookie year.
Okay.
Oh, so he didn't get a ring?
No, we lost to Green Bay that year.
Got a ring. Okay. All right. Well, he get a ring this year. That's what's up.
Standard.
All right. So, I mean,
we got a disagreement here.
Go ahead.
I'm rooting for KC. I want to see.
You root for KC?
My theory is, you know, and I tip my hat to Brady. 43 years old, got the team to the Super Bowl, a new team, and everything. Their story, but man, you know, you can't ever count KC out ever. You just can't.
No, you can't.
And they're stacked. They're the stacked team. They've always been the best team in the AFC. I said that when Pittsburgh was undefeated. I just feel like they have that chance to repeat for the first time since the Patriots did it.
I feel you.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I mean, you know, you're going to go with the history of Tom Brady. You know, people like Keith said, I don't want to bet against him. But you know how you have Patrick Mahomes and KC, who never seems to be out of a game. Even if they're down, they can come back. So, I mean, I think it makes for a great Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
To me, it's hard to pick, you know, because of those two quarterbacks. It just makes it so difficult to pick one or the other if you don't have a favorite. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It is like Hollywood, man. Probably you couldn't put a better story out there. Two great teams, great quarterbacks, young and old. So, yeah, it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm coming at it this way, gentlemen. That it's not so much Tom Brady, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. That's what I'm looking at, because those linebackers are fire. I mean, David is all over the place. Every time you blink, I mean, he's all over the place. And was it Smith is the last name of the other linebacker that just making
from LSU.
Kevin White. There you go, White. Yes. I mean, he was a beast. I mean, it's like if you blinked, you missed him, and that's true. I mean, it's like, so I just think it's going to be the Kansas City, the Buccaneer defense that's going to make the big difference, because if you can stop Mahomes and Kansas City is sheer speed, and not only speed but quickness. I mean, you got those receivers who are quick as heck. Did you watch the game? Dude caught the ball, ran towards the sideline, maybe 2 steps. It looked like he stopped, and 3 players went by him, and then he just put on the Jets and went right up the field. And then cut back across the field to the other side.
That was awesome.
I mean, that looked ridiculous.
That was
it looked like my video game. And I was like, yo, hold up. I got to pick KC the next time I'm playing on NFL right now, because, on Madden. Because, if they got that type of speed, it really does look like it's just ridiculous speed. Go ahead, Vince.
That's a challenge. You know, if you're Tampa Bay is as a defense, you know, you have to, not only do you have to account for Tyreek Hill and his speed and his misdirection, you have to worry about Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, how do you go about game plan? It's one thing to, you know, to be able to put your focus on one guy and try to slow him down. Because I don't think you're going to talk about stopping anybody. You know, so to me, it's going to come down to, you know, which offense can score, can be the most efficient and score with, you know, with their opportunities. Not so much defense. I mean, I can see this being, you know, in the mid 30s for each team, easily.
Really?
They're
I'm thinking this. Go ahead.
They're raving over the Tampa Bay secondary. I mean, their secondary is matching up man defense. So that's going to be incredible to see if they're able to match up man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tampa Bay's that secondary is hurt. I mean, Whitehead got hurt last week making a big tackle. I know he caused a couple fumbles, but he got hurt in the process. How well does that shoulder hold up? Luckily, he has a couple of weeks to get ready. The kid, Winfield Jr. didn't play the last game. So, I mean, you have to worry about Tampa. As good as Tampa Bay's defense is, they have to get healthy in a hurry to be able to compete, at the same level as that Kansas City offense.
But this is the factors, man. And I hear what you're saying, but it's so unusual because Tampa Bay doesn't have to go anywhere to play in the Super Bowl. They get to stay at home. That actually contributes to the healing process for these players. That means they already started the healing process and don't have to go anywhere and continue right on up to next week. So that's crazy.
Right,
it's like
on no airplane or nothing.
Right. They don't have to, Keith, they don't have to go nowhere. Like, okay, I'm in the training room. Okay, I can be in this training room for the next 2 weeks. Like, I don't have to worry about going nowhere. So that's crazy. So I think that I'm loving that idea that Tampa Bay is actually playing at home. Now, you mentioned Kelsey. I think Tampa Bay has already seen a Travis Kelsey because you have O.J. Howard and you have Rob Gronkowski. So the defense has already been matched up against a tight end who can actually play wide receiver, so to speak. So I don't think that's the key, but I do think those wide receivers, the short dudes are like, what they say 5'11", them cats, man, if they're 5'9", I think that's giving them more credit than that's due. But I mean, the quickness and the stopping on the dime and the change of direction and being able to like explode. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that. To be totally honest with you guys, I'll go back to like a Walter Payton. I'll go back to a breakaway back. Yes, I mean somebody that's just Barry Sanders. I mean that's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah,
to be able to just stop like that and just go. And that's a wide receiver we're talking about. We're not even talking about a running back. So I mean, with Hill, I don't know if they've seen anything like him before. But when you bring up Kelsey, yeah, I can see them matching up against Kelsey because they match up against Gronk and match up against O.J. Howard all the time. That's just what I think. What do you guys think?
I like the matchup all across. It's going to be definitely a joust, a coaching matchup. I mean, you're going to see, Andy Reid with the card above his face. You're going to just see some great jockeying. Tom Brady coaching from the sidelines, coaching from on the field. I mean, it's definitely going to be a football. I mean, if you love football and you love watching football, you love seeing the plays develop. You love seeing the competition. You love seeing the people setting up plays. I mean, you can just see it right now. I'm a football guy. I love football. I love both teams. I love how they're positioning themselves. They're bringing guys on and off the field. Even Tampa Bay, they went out in free agency and got this team for this, for Tom Brady, and then you go see Andy Reid, and he built that team to be where it is right now. And so you got somebody who built a team from a free agency or from the draft. You got somebody that built a team from free agency, and man, you can just see organizations, and it's going to be such a great game with two organizations that are been around. Nobody really picked them to be the top organizations, and look at them now. It's exciting to see that.
And I got to ask this question. You brought up Andy Reid. I got to ask Keith and Ray and Vince too, because here at Urban Media Today, we've covered the Pittsburgh Steelers for years now, which is actually awesome. Bruce Arians, head coach of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, taking the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. Would you have ever imagined? Because didn't he come through Pittsburgh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he came through Pittsburgh. He was
he retired, and then he came back out of retirement.
Yeah, put quotes on that retirement because they ended his contract and they let him go gracefully when he was the offensive coordinator. But then
he went to Arizona, right? Did he go to Arizona from Pittsburgh?
Before Arizona, he was an assistant at Indianapolis, and then Pagano, the head coach, was out because of cancer. He took over, became coach of the year, and then he ended up with a job in Arizona. So yeah, he's pretty much been doing a good job, and he's been known to be good with quarterbacks. They call him a quarterback whisperer. So his pedigree with offense is pretty decent. I mean, I was a fan with his philosophy in Pittsburgh because I'm old school with the fullback and all, but he won a Super Bowl in 2008 with the format. So So yeah, so look at him now. I'm very happy.
He wasn't whispering early on this season, him and Tom Brady.
No, he certainly
true.
was not. He certainly was not. That's for sure. I think that's his book, the title of his book, Quarterback Whisperer. So yeah.
Oh wow, that's deep. I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that because I remember the days when he was with Pittsburgh, and then I remember when he left Pittsburgh because wasn't this some type of not controversy, but it was like okay.
They was ready to move on from him. I didn't mean to cut you off, Vincent. Sorry.
No, I'm saying wasn't there something with Roethlisberger?
Well, that was his buddy, so they were cool.
But they were cool.
They just didn't want to renew his contract, and so that's why they were
basically
just like with Dick LeBeau, retirement. But they so that's what happened. Then of course they moved on to Todd Haley, but I had a chance to get to know him. He's a nice guy. He's a giant. I didn't realize he was as tall as he was, or I'm just short, but he's a good guy.
Wow. You guys got to weigh in on this, man. I mean, the Super Bowl is only 50, what's this, 54? 55? 55. So the Super Bowl is 55 years old. And this is the first time ever the team gets to play at home in the Super Bowl. Like, I can't even grasp that. Like, how do you guys feel about what's the anticipation as next week comes? I mean, to me, I'm like, oh man, that's perfect. Tampa Bay used to be 0-16 or 0-18 or 0-20 something. Now they're going to the Super Bowl for the second time. First time was Tony Dungy's team, coached by John Gruden. But anyway, go ahead, fellas.
Remarkable.
I mean, in this climate, it seems weird because I think the fans that'll be there are I think there'll be frontline workers. So I mean that's kind of a cool thing, you know, for locals, for local healthcare workers who been putting themselves right there in the middle of this pandemic, saving lives. Get a chance to experience the Super Bowl. So to me that's unprecedented, and it's a great story. But from a different from the regular fan perspective, it seems kind of weird. Like all these things played out. You had the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay actually is in the Super Bowl, but they don't have their fan base there to root them on. So that to me is kind of different.
Yeah, it certainly is.
All right, go ahead, Ray.
You think about it, just what Quinton was saying earlier. You don't have to you can get up, you can come from your house and go practice. And in some ways, it's like business as usual. But of course, you're playing for a game on a higher level, on the highest level, actually. But the fact that they don't have to fly, the fact that they don't have to do certain preparations and make certain preparations that they would usually do if they had to go to another state, I think that takes it back a lot. So yeah, and I'm sure they're going to get ready for 10,000 questions about it next week. Oh, what's it like? Et cetera, et cetera. So they'll be ready for that. So yeah, I think that is pretty cool. It's nice that we're able to witness it in our lifetime to finally see that. It's avoided. 54 Super Bowls has avoided it. So it's pretty cool.
No doubt. All right, fellas, this is what what we do. We're wrapping up the show. It's the end of the fourth quarter, end of the game, wrapping it up. We're going to go around the room, see what you got going on, what's on your mind, what's heavy on your heart. Bless us with some knowledge. Coach, we're going to start with you this time. Coach, what you got?
Man, it's exciting, man. Excited. Super Bowl week coming up, man. We got the countdown. I mean, today is Saturday. Those that are listening right now, I mean, go out and get your tailgate food. I'm ready to go in. I'm happy football season's here after everything we've gone through this past year with the pandemic in 2020. This is good to kind of have a little bit of fun. So I'm excited. Of course, we had Quinton Bell, one of the guys that come to my program, but I'm excited also for one of my really, really good friends is Eric Bieniemy. So I'm excited what he's doing on the opposite side, and I'm just excited to watch this game. That's all I have to say. And again, I'm just happy to have Quinton Bell on the show today.
Yeah, that was big. That was fire. We thank you for bringing him back. Quinton was with us back in August, like he said, and now here we are in January of the next year, and he's about to go to the Super Bowl and actually took out time and was humble enough to bless us with more time. That's what's up. Definitely appreciate that. Vince, what you got?
As we as many of us reflected on the 1 year anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death, three of his quotes kind of stood out for me, and not. I know when he for him they were like basketball quotes, but not just basketball. They're there for life. So three quotes that stood out to me were: "We don't quit, we don't cower, we don't run, we endure and conquer." During this pandemic, so the call for social justice and reform, those rang true for me. Another quote is: "The one thing that you can control, you're responsible for how people remember you or don't." And so, to me, you want to go out and live your life, the way you need to live it, and you can control how people see you and how they perceive you. You're in full control of that. And then the other quote was, "The most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they want to do." I think we all have the capability to reach down and pull up someone, whether young, old, or whatever. And so I think in our life we need to make sure that we teach, things that we learn, we pass those things along to others. So as much as just reflecting on the life and the legacy of Kobe Bryant, those three quotes really stood out to me.
Wow, that's what's up. That's deep stuff. You always dropping it like that, man. It's like, okay, how do you follow up Vince? We're going to start making Vince last because you can't follow Vince up because he just drops it like that. Ray Porter Jr., what you got, man?
Well, I will do my best to follow up my good friend Vincent. We have a retirement this week in the NFL. And I know weeks ago it was Philip Rivers. This week it was, my goodness, Jason Witten. For the second time. Of course, he played the majority of his career with the Dallas Cowboys, retired, came back for 1 year with them, and then played this year with the Las Vegas Raiders. But just a decorated career, a premier tight end, and 11-time Pro Bowler, 13,140 yards, and 74 receiving touchdowns. Just a great career and such a class act. Walter Payton Man of the Year. I just wish him the best, and kudos to him. And we know the next stop's going to be when he gets that knock on the door to go into. So kudos to Jason Witten.
All right. Keith Platt Jr., what you got, youngin?
Two things I want to touch on. First, man, I just want to say my prayers and God bless, rest in peace to Sekou Smith. He's the NBA insider for NBA TV. He passed away due to COVID, man. He just made me take life serious. I mean, I've been here, but this is another reminder how serious this COVID stuff is. And he kept me entertained in the NBA bubble with his analysis, him and Chris Haynes. And I was just so sad to hear that news, man. But on a positive note, Coach Will, you should be able to relate to this guy because he's on the West Coast. You watching college basketball, pay attention to Jalen Suggs for Gonzaga. He's a combo guard. He's a freshman. He's averaging about 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And he's probably going to be a lottery pick in the NBA draft. And he was a former 4-star recruit quarterback. So you get a chance, man. Check out the Gonzaga and pay attention to Jalen Suggs, man, because he's coming fast, boy. He's tough as nails.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Only thing I got this week, Super Bowl coming up next weekend, and we actually pointed out that there's some HBCU players, Quinton Bell, who was on the show today from Prairie View, and then you have Ryan Smith, who's North Carolina Central. That's his teammate on the Buccaneers. Well, on the Kansas City Chiefs, you have Alex Brown and Antonio Hamilton, South Carolina State Bulldogs. They're both on Kansas City. So you do have HBCUs well repped in the Super Bowl. Of course, waiting for the day where there's more. And where's the black head coaches? I'm going to say that once and for all. I'm just so tired of this with the NFL. Okay, I'm not. We need them. Okay, I'll leave it at that. But I'm going to keep it positive. HBCU players in the Super Bowl next weekend on the Kansas City Chiefs and on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go Bucks. As we always say in parting, man, there's something that all of you have that's very valuable, and you have to cherish it. It's something that you spend every day. You don't get a rebate, you don't get a refund, and you don't get it back. And that's time. Spend it wisely. It's Urban Media Today Talks Sports. We got my man Ray Porter Jr., Keith Platt Jr., William Great Hoy Jr., and I thank goodness for Vince Butts because I don't have to say Jr. Got my man Vince Butts. We'll see y'all next weekend.
Urban Media Today talks sports every week on Urban Media Today Radio, where you can listen in on free music and podcasts on our SoundCloud station at Urban Media Today. And for more information, log on to urbanmediatoday.com, your lifestyle, entertainment, and sports blog website.
What type of games being played? How's it going down? I get up, all right?